is a story. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Here we are, January 2017. Lots of changes, lots of evolutions. So this is the deal. In 2016, I got the vision, the picture, the reality, the sense that the demographics were breaking off, splitting off. However, it's become very clear in the last 6 weeks that I'm picking up on something that's happening in the future. It's not quite happened yet, but what has happened is that the demographics, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all the signs, these demographics that are on these evolutionary narratives, they're unfolding, spiraled evolutionary stories in particular themes. I do believe, I feel, I sense that they've split. And so what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be more work, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but what I've started to do for 2017, January, is for each demographic, I am doing 2 readings. So there's a split happening. There's a certain populace of people, there's a certain evolutionary story that's unfolding for, let's say, half, or at least a quantity, maybe even a third, a quantity of Aries. And then there's another storyline unfolding for another populace, another segment of the Aries demographic. It's the same for Taurus, etc. So let's get started on the year. I'll explain it as we go through the reading this month. Everyone, so there's a lot to talk about as we complete 2016 and we enter into 2017. So of course, this is our January 2017 Alchemy Scope, right? This series of Alchemy Scopes for this new beginning of a new cycle, and indeed it is. So let's start with talking about the numerology. 2016 was a 9-year. It was a hard year for many, many people out there. It was a very tough year. On the collective scale, it was a very tough year. In fact, this 9-year of 2016 was about endings, completion. It was about old patterns coming up to the surface for healing, for seeing. So as we complete this 9-year, we enter into 2017, which is a 1-year. 2017, 2, 0, 1, and 7 together add up to 10. This 10-year adds up 1 and 0 to 1. All right? 1 is initiation. It's individuation. It's the individual. It's initiative and innovation. It is a new beginning. 1 is a new cycle. It is literally the new seed. So as most of you know who have tuned into my Alchemy Scopes forever, since I've begun, or even more recently, you realize that these Alchemy Scopes are always attuned to natural cycles. So they're always aligned with the new moon portal point. And the new moon is a new seeding time. Indeed, everybody, 2017 for all of us on the collective scale is representing energetically a new seeding time. It's a new moon on a massive scale. So we're entering into a new phase of a 9-year cycle. So this 2017 year is about new beginnings. So this is fantastic. And I have to tell you, everything that I'm going to bring up now is aligning with this message of 2017. Ironically, on this new moon point where we are officially kind of beginning, this is post-winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, and entering into this new cycle for the year, I'm recording this, of course, before this Capricorn new moon, right before January 2017 begins. This new moon point, this Capricorn new moon, is the third of the last 3 months of a 7-degree new moon point. Scorpio had a 7-degree new moon, Sagittarius had a 7-degree new moon, and Capricorn has a 7-degree new moon. In fact, to be exact, the new moon that is occurring on the 28th/29th of December is at 7 degrees 59 minutes Capricorn. Now, everybody, the amazing thing that's aligning with this new moon, this new beginning point, that is representing for us the beginning of the chapter, the pre-chapter of the calendar year shifting to 2017, is that Uranus goes direct on the same day as our new moon. Now, if that weren't enough, we have the most amazing Sabian symbol, everybody. Listen to this. The Sabian symbol that is imbued at 7 degrees Capricorn is this. In a sunlit home, domesticated birds sing joyously. The keynote that Dane Rudhyar writes is the wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. The wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. So let me read on. In various ways, this section of the cyclic process brings to us images glorifying the power and benefits which a steady and well-integrated society brings to its members. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn was the ruler of the Golden Age before he became a symbol of binding limitations. The person who accepts willingly, or even better, takes for granted the value of these limitations, can lead a serene and happy existence, whatever the social status. This stage suggests to us how we can enjoy our life condition by allowing the spiritual values it embodies to fill our consciousness. In every condition provided by a healthy culture, which hardly refers to our present chaotic world, human beings can find enjoyment in the roles they are born to play. Everybody, with 2017 equating to the energy of a 1 year, a new cycle, a new birth, individuation. This is about you becoming you. This is about you as a distinct soul print, a distinct individual, stepping into your uniqueness, your distinctness, and doing you. This could not be more aligned with the bigger picture. I mean, it's quite something. So this particular symbology is imbued not only for this particular new moon, but at the point at which Uranus is going direct. And Uranus is the individual. It is our distinct genius self. It's our uniqueness, our distinctness. So there's no accident. There's complete alignment with the fact that Uranus is going direct and that it's happening on this new moon. And this new moon is the third of 3 sevens. And this particular symbol is the picture. This is birds singing joyously in a sunlit home. This is about emanation. Sun emanates. This home is safety, security. It's the self. It's the body. Everybody, this is quite something, you know. Now, let's talk about this new cycle. So you heard me say in the introduction to this video that I had been getting a call for a long time now, actually. This is since last spring. So spring of 2016, I got a really clear picture that that these demographics of the signs are going to start to split. That there's going to be a threading of the story. It's going to fray out, because as people step into their individuation, as people understand that they are distinct, as they understand they are a powerful, distinct facet of consciousness, of source, they are going to break. They're going to go into more of their aligned soul print path. And the general demographics for the unfolding is going to shift and change. The thing is, I tend to pick up on things well before they manifest. So when I picked this up in spring 2016, it wasn't necessarily happening yet. What I got clear on in the last 6 to 8 weeks is that there is a split, but it's not threaded out into many different facets of story. So for example, instead of the demographic of Aries continuing on a general evolutionary path of unfolding narrative, it is split, but it's now split in two. So there's a distinct evolution upward, and there's another evolution going in another direction. As we move from a stable state into a chaotic state, as people continue to unveil and awaken and really align with their distinct soul print, they will not follow a general narrative. So yes, there is a split now. Is that split going to further break into different threads of story? Yes. At some level in the next couple of years, I don't necessarily foresee these particular readings following any particular thick storied narrative. They might, because again, I see things well in advance, years in advance of sometimes this stuff happening. So it could be that it's 5 years down the road, but maybe it's sooner. It's going to depend on how quickly people wake up and how people really... I think what's happened for me in the last 6 to 8 weeks is I've realized the level at which people are still strongly asleep. And so because that's the case, the understanding that I've gotten, the clarity that I asked for and that I received was that indeed there is a split, but right now it's only a bifurcation. It's only a split into two. So that's what we're going to proceed with. So let's move forward into the individual signs, and we're going to take a look and see one or two, A or B, left or right, because I am going to show you two different spreads and two different I Ching narratives. Okay? And one of those is going to align more for your story. All right, so let's get started. So I'd like you to meditate on two forms, square and circle. Square and circle. Now, if you'd like to align the form square with the number 1 or with the directional identifier right, you can do that. And I want you to also meditate on the form circle or number 2. It can also be B of A and B, or left of right and left. But I think the easiest way, because you're my very first recording, you know, I'm doing this split spread situation now for the first time, and I really do, it is my very authentic intention to make this easy and smooth as opposed to more complicated. It is absolutely against my deep desires to make any of this complicated, but unfortunately there's more information coming through. So I'm going to bring it, at least for now, I'm going to bring it forward, and I will attempt to be as clear and concise as possible. I think that square and circle, tapping into the forms, are going to be the easiest for people. because it's not about one being better than two. In fact, it's not that at all. A being the first letter in the alphabet, B being the second. There's always some hierarchical association that humans do with that stuff. And because I didn't want that, I think that square and circle are going to be best. So tap in. And once you know what it is, that is your form. So for all of these alchemy scopes coming forward, you are going to be square. You're not going to go back and forth between square and circle. Now, could it be that you kind of switch paths, or that you shift trajectory? Anything's possible. Absolutely anything is possible. But you're not going to flip-flop back and forth every month. If you pick square or if you pick circle, I am doing the readings according to those pathways. Okay? So let's begin. We're starting with square. So if you selected square as the resonant form for you, that means that that is your unfolding trajectory at this time. Libra squares. So let's take a look. What is unfolding for you this month? You received 2 I Ching hexagrams. The first one, number 62, attention to detail, came with changing lines, and it became number 16, enthusiasm. So attention to detail has to do with ambitious undertakings not being timely now. So there's a need to kind of accept that attending to the small details of matters is actually going to bring you the success that you desire forthcoming. There's also a note here. So this is from the Visionary I Ching. So the key to success, it says, is to avoid pretentious ambitions and grandiose goals. The power of the small is served by the slow and steady advancement, and succeeds through an honest awareness of limitations. Okay. Now it's coming with number 16, enthusiasm. And this is about effervescence, happiness, joy, an extreme level of optimism, right? So enthusiasm for life, there's vitality and there's joy, effervescent joy there. So here, the underpinning narrative is a joy with regards to the details that are needing attention. So it might not be the biggest goals that are being launched or unleashed at this time. However, there's a joy that you're having with attending to the details. Now, interestingly, the Dakini that came forward as your evolution, who you are to embody, who you are to become this month, is number 35, Pele. Pele is lava. Pele is the lifeblood of the planet. It's fire, it's passion, it's always moving, it's very hot, it's very fiery, and it is about the key lesson for you with this, and what you're really asked to embody and evolve this month is about unrepressing that which has been contained and letting it flow like lava. And again, lava is hot, fiery, passionate. So it is about letting your passions flow, unrepressing, okay? Now, if we move to your reading, I've not done an assessment of this reading yet, so we're going to do it together. This is what I will say, Libra squares, is that the ending card, which you see there on the right side, this has come up again and again and again and again for the January readings. There's no accident there. There's a big transition, even though we are moving into a 1 year with 2017. Yes, there are things ending. There are transformations occurring, radical transformations of our lives, of our mind, of how we orient ourselves. This is no joke. This is like serious shift in how we are as individuals and who we are as a collective. So endings keep coming up for the signs. All right. For you, there is some ending that feels big, and it has to do with a container. So for example, if we look over at the emotional side, at the left side, you see big container. So there's an emotional container that is ending. Now for some of you, this could have to do with a relationship. It could have to do with a container of marriage. It doesn't have to. It could be another container that holds you emotionally. But for you, there's a big container that's coming to some sort of an end. All right? There is a breakup or a breaking that is happening at the base of the reading. Breaking is coming up. Another card that's continued to come up again and again. Your thoughts are around freedom, however. So your mind is thinking, okay, I'm free. There is a container that's ended. There is a break that has allowed perhaps a sense of freedom of my mind, of my thoughts, of my thinking. If we look in the center of the reading, so this is kind of the main topic for your month ahead, we're talking about making real, so manifesting, people, returning strength. Now you can see that the Chariot is reversed here. So the deck with the yellow borders is the volatile. I'm always using that for the square readings. The tarot here is the Druid craft. The Chariot upright refers to mastery of the mind. It refers to the ability to balance the forward movement, the journey, progression forward of the shadow and the light, the black and the white, the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. This is about mastery. So when it's upright, or when it's reversed like it is, Libra, what this is talking about is a lack of mastery of the mind. So things can feel overwhelming. There can be, listen, there could be a car accident for some folks out there, because on a very logistical level, the Chariot can refer to transportation. With it upright, can refer to some sort of an accident with, let's say, a car or a vehicle. And it could be that that's the big container that's ending. It could be a car problem happens for some of you. But again, because my readings really do talk to the evolutionary process of the soul, it could be that the car issue does exacerbate the needed growth for you. But for some of you, it's not going to be a car that ends or breaks down, but it might be for some of you. For those that it doesn't, it has to do with feeling overwhelmed. So for this month, for the Libra squares, there's a feeling of overwhelm with what people are doing. So on a very global level, what people are making real, the energy with which they're making things real might become overwhelming. You might become distracted mentally this month. All right. But I want you to keep in mind the unrepressed theme for you. The evolution is Pele. So to let your anger out in a safe way, in a responsible way. It's about letting yourself become free, like this freedom card is talking about. It's about a breakdown in order to break through. That's how life works. But for you, there is something breaking that is creating a freedom, and it does have to do with the freedom of your mind. What Pele is, again, urging you is to unrepress. So if you have repressed passions, repressed anger, rage, ideas, expressions, creativity, sexuality that is not able to have any outlet, you might have a breakdown. You know, there might be the Chariot that upturns. That is the mind going into complete and utter lack of mastery. This is about letting the mind overwhelm you. Okay, so just keep the Pele guidance tight. And by the way, the full library to the full explanation of Penny Slinger's Dakinis are in my online library, which has other tools for you. And you can always visit Penny Slinger's website directly to access that information. All those links are below this video. Now, let's move to the circles, Libra circles. For you, Libra circles, you received 2 I Ching hexagrams. The first one, number 34, great vigor. This is about energy, great energy, a surge of energy, something being let loose. And it's linked to number 58, joy. So there's a great deal of joy that you're enabling because you are unrepressed. So the circle path is letting loose that great vigor, and it's accessing a level of joy. So there's a great deal of optimism, happiness, bliss that is the underpinning narrative for the Libra circles this month. The again, interestingly, because for you there's something that needs balance. We know that from the square path with the chariot reversed. For you, the evolution for the Libra circles is Tantric Kitty, number 19. Tantric Kitty talks about the two aspects of cat, small domesticated cat and large cat. In either case, there's a loving, playful, natural expression to cat, and there's a spontaneous, unexpected ferociousness to cat that can come out, that can be unleashed. Here, there is a level of a sovereign self. You know, cats are very independent by their nature. They will do what makes them comfortable. They will spend hours cleaning themselves. They'll spend hours sleeping. They like to feel good. They like to feel at ease and in comfort. They do what calls, and what calls to them is taking care of themselves, nurturing themselves. The message for you is to value your sovereignty and to nurture and develop the sense of your sovereign self as a significant asset. That's what Penny writes. So cats are adaptable because, you know, they have that idea, that myth around the 9 lives. They're adaptable and they're curious and they're multifaceted and they care for themselves. They take care of their sovereign needs. So you are to do that. That's the guidance for you. Now, if we move on to your reading, to your spread, I'm using my Siri deck here, and you can see unusual thought consideration and King of Wands reversed in the center. This is the main narrative for you in January. Unusual has to do with your distinctness. Very specifically, it has to do with your sovereign, distinctly encoded soul print. By the way, for those that want to learn about your soul print, I have a class that I'm going to be teaching in January. So the link for that is below this video, okay? Unusual thought, King of Wands reverse. So what I'm getting for you is that there is something about anger, rage. King of Wands reversed is about a lack of mastery with regards to creative drive, vitality, passion, energy. Wands is energy. It's creative life force. It is healthy, mastered expression when it's the king upright. When it's reversed, it's about implosion. It's about the explosion of that which needs to come out, which is not coming out. So for you, you're having unusual thoughts. This is for the circle path. Unusual thoughts around your creativity, around your sexuality, around the expression or non-expression of your vital life force, of your creative insights, of your inspirations. There's unusual thoughts coming for the Libra circles. In the spiritual sector on the right side, the optimal card is coming up, which means that at the foundations of your month, you're thinking about what is best for you as a distinct individual. What is best for you? Okay? At the base of the reading evolution, you are thinking about what's next. Okay, so here we are, January 2017, New Year's resolutions. It's a new year. It's a 1-year cycle. You are thinking about what it is that you want for yourself in the next month, in the next 5 months, in the next 5 years. So you are going through that process of really thinking about your distinctness and how that needs to be aligned with an optimal life for yourself. Work, home, family, land, gardens, whatever it might be. With regards to the emotions for you this month, receive, habit pattern, glory, victory, and reflection. Now, I will tell you, there are several cards that kept coming up for the entire day, essentially, for the new moon, Capricorn new moon on the 28th of December. I did these readings, right? And they were powerful. I mean, they were all infused with the new moon energy. Many cards kept coming up again and again. There were and will be replicated messages for many people moving forward for this month ahead. It's very powerful. Habit pattern is one of them. They come up in different areas, and same with glory, victory. So those two keep coming up. Families come up a couple times, so his teacher. So many things are moving us, or are themes for our evolution. However, they're coming up in different areas of who we are and what we're working through. For you, receiving pattern, glory, reflection, emotionally, it's like you're going to be open. So that's the receive card. Emotionally, you'll be open to get reflection, successful reflection, a successful model. Who is a model for you of glory, of success? So a lot of you are going to be open to seeing what are the habits, for example, of successful people. Reflection is talking about being open to see yourself in others, being open to look at others and see yourself in them. Right? And the pattern of glory is about what do successful people do. Your thoughts up at the top, teacher, family, humor. So your thoughts will be around role models. Your thoughts will be around teachers that inspire you. And maybe those that feel like tribe. Again, I really don't think that for most of you, family is about blood family. I think this card is actually referring to tribe. So who are your role models? Teacher. You'll be thinking about family or tribe, and you'll also be thinking about joy, humor, lightness. And this kind of goes perfectly with the great vigor of joy. So again, for the Libra circles, much energy around joy, and the play out is about your distinctness and how you maybe don't express yourself creatively. I think that's what the King of Wands is bringing up here, is that you're having thoughts around your unique nature and how to date you maybe have not expressed that creatively. And it's time now for you to upturn that King of Wands. Everyone, an exciting announcement. Throughout 2016, I've been called to bring forward a Learn Your Soul Print course, and indeed it's happening. January 2017, we'll have 3 live stream courses discussing key aspects of your astrology, your archetype encodings, and the Sabian symbology that lives within your soul print, your soul's blueprint, that really are foundational understandings to knowing what our natural alignment is. It is highly delicious. And so for those intrigued, this is a great price, and I encourage you to learn more about it. The web address is thealchemyofholism.com/soulprintcourse with hyphens between the words. And you can find the link below this video. So for those ready to start 2017 with clarity, with alignment, I highly, highly recommend learning about this course. An excellent price point. The goal for me to provide a course versus working one-on-one with clients, which is what I do, is so that I can help more people align to their stories. And this story is the natural alignment, the natural bliss state. So I look forward to seeing some of you very, very soon. Everyone, before I sign off and wish you a very good month ahead, an evolutionary, a rich and expansive month ahead, I want to remind you that in order to get your personalized Alchemy Scope with a spread, with an astrological assessment of your solar return, with a discussion of your Sabian symbology, of everything that's activated, including your transits, I urge you to make contact. The link is below. And this is a video that you're going to have permanent access to, so you can refer to it throughout the year. But there is about a 2-week lead time, so I encourage you, if you'd like to tap into what the whole of 2017 has in store for you, please go ahead and click the link below to place your order right away. Talk to you soon. Bye. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency.